In our episode of Two Cup Games last time out, we secured a fourth round place in the FA Cup and a final in the EFL Cup, otherwise known as the Caribou Cup, for the third season in a row. Can we win it for the third season in a row? That's for a future episode. But today it's back to the Premier League and to try and qualify for the last 16 of the Champions League. Welcome along. And a very warm welcome to episode 59 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode, we have for you two games, as aforementioned, Manchester United in the Premier League. And that's at Old Trafford. And then we invite and welcome Mol Fevarvar. I hope I pronounced that right. Fevarvar. Into the Champions League phase, match day 7, and it's a match day that we need to win. We'll investigate why in a short space of time, but since you were last with us, nothing has happened in as much as it's back-to-back episodes at the minute, because we seem to have a lot going on. We've had the two semi-final legs of the Caribou Cup, a 2-2 draw at Leicester, a 4-1 win at home, making it 6-3 on aggregate, and through to a final which is coming up down here at the start of March, on March the 2nd to be precise. And as it stands now, we've got back-to-back games with Brentford, both in the Caribou Cup final and the Premier League Caribou Cup final, of course, which is a rerun of the Caribou Cup a couple of seasons ago, and the FA Cup final last season. So we've played them a lot in cup finals just recently, which means one of two things. We're doing well getting through to finals, but also Brentford are doing well and getting through to finals. So they've got through to the final again, and well done to them. So that's what's coming up for future episodes. Today, as I said, we do feature Manchester United, who in 6 games, we've won the last 3 games against them. Earlier in this series, we were struggling against them most of the time. Very close games, and only lost that one by a small squeak. We haven't actually ever beat them at Old Trafford, albeit we did get through the Caribou Cup quarter-final on penalties against them last season. But as I say, we've never actually physically outright beat them at Old Trafford. Today, it would be nice to. But, you know, it could potentially still be a very, very tight match. So that's coming up first in the episode. And then we have that match against Molfaver. They are a which country are they from? They're Hungary. They are a Hungarian side. Play in the OTP Bank Liga, and they are they're a Hungarian side. What can I say? I do like their kit, blue and red and alternate arms. That's quite a nice kit. They generally play at the Skengavara Hungary Stadium, Arena Sosto in Hungary, and I'm sure there's Hungarians out there that will be able to pronounce that far better. Used to work with somebody who come from Hungary, and I'm sure she would have been able to tell me how that was correctly pronounced. But today that is how they are. They are currently way at the bottom in 36th. We are currently in 7th in this table. A win today would hopefully, depend on how these guys do, would open a little bit of a gap up, and we want a nice 3-point gap, 4-point gap to guarantee ourselves a place in the last 16, because as I think I've explained before, and I'm sure you're abundantly aware of this, is the top 8 will go through automatically. The next 16 teams from 9th all the way down to 24th all play off for the last 8 places. So that's how that works, and the 8 teams that win those playoff places go and join the original 8, and I'm presuming the original 8 have seeding priority in the draw for the last 16. But we'll see how all that pans out as we progress. Hopefully, in this top 8, a win today will do us, because we've got Dortmund coming up. Albeit Dortmund have lost 2 of their games in the competition so far this season. They've lost to Arsenal and they've lost to Sevilla, who we beat them in Sevilla in the last thing? We did 3-1. So maybe it's not such a bad thing, but we'll see. Don't want to count it down to the last game of the season. If we can win this one, then we know what we've got to do in that last game. We are on the 18th of January, in the middle of the transfer window. I think I've explained before, we have no money. Daniel Levy has kept his hand in his pocket, and we only have 2 million in transfer fees. We are up to the hilt, in fact, and over on wages. I think that was because we actually renegotiated somebody's wages. So we are slightly over. Do need to try and trim that a little bit. Whether we offload somebody that we don't need to replace before the transfer window finishes, we will have to wait and see. But nobody has come in. Nobody has gone out apart from loans, which we've been recircuiting some of these loans that went out and extending them. Nobody new has gone out, and we've not had anybody in since Matthias Tell back in the summer transfer window. So that's pretty much on transfer deadline day, I think he came in. But that is all that has happened. Nothing has happened, and pretty much won't happen. It's got to mean somebody goes out before somebody comes in, if that makes sense. Right, let's get on with the episode, get into the games. We have Manchester United then first up at Old Trafford. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Manchester United in the Premier League. And the team that will face Manchester United in this one, we have Carnesecchi continues in goal despite his howler in the last episode. It was a bit of a howler as well. Cucurella is playing in the wing back on the left side. Rice, Timber and James are defensive line. Otavio and Kante in midfield. We have an injury, a couple of injuries actually. I think we have an injury to Milinkovic-Savic. He picked it up in training, which was rather annoying. Rodrigo, Mount and Koeman are attacking in midfield, with Gabriel Barbosa being chosen up front. Give Havertz a little bit of rest. He's on very good form at the moment, is Havertz, to be honest. And Matthias Tell's not doing bad either. Question whether we should have started him up front instead of Barbosa. But generally, team's not been playing too badly of late. So Barbosa gets the nod up front today. And then on the bench, we have Mendy, Koulibaly, Kovacic, Tell, Chilwell, Fernandes, Sterling, Fofana and Kai Havertz. I was just looking at their recent form at Manchester United. They beat Shrewsbury in the FA Cup 5-2. But outside of that, they've lost 3 and drawn 1 in their last 5 games in the 4 games in the Premier League. Including a loss to Middlesbrough, a loss to Fulham, drew 2-2 with Arsenal, and a 4-1 loss to Liverpool. They're not in good form at the moment, are they? And this is how the two teams match up. We're playing our 4-2-3-1. They are playing a 4-1-2-3, with the team looking like this. Henderson in goal, and Malika, Maguire, Varane and Dalot in defence. Stash plays as the defensive midfielder. Sanchez and Eriksen in midfield, with Rashford and Sancho as the wide players behind Bernardo Fernandes. Pochettino's the manager. On the bench, we have David De Gea, Mancini, Dominguez, Elanga, McTominay, Lindenhoff, Martial, Van der Beek and Wan-Bissaka. First highlight, nearly 8 minutes on the clock. Throwing Cucurella and Rodrigo working together. That what happened there? I don't know. All of a sudden it come out like a bullet out of a gun. But Henderson gathers the ball up. They have a free kick with 27 minutes on the clock. Eriksson standing over the ball. The ball's in and it's well saved by Kanachesi. And it's gone out for a corner. I didn't think that had gone out for a corner, but apparently it had. Eriksson with the corner then swings it in. It's headed clear by Rice, I think it was. He's playing in defence there, Varane. And danger still lurking, pushing them back slowly. And another highlight. And Koeman goes in both feet. Tries to win the ball back. And they're coming through the lines. And well cut out by James, but he's not thwarted it altogether. Rashford, Sanchez, it's come back off the post and goes out for a goal kick. Another highlight, and Manchester United have it. It's onto the area. Rashford's in, but Cucurella is there and tidies up. It just didn't have any emphasis. And half-time comes. No more highlights. Manchester United had 8 shots, 3 on target, 0.66, 56% of the possession. We've had 7 shots, 2 on target, 0.52, 44% of the possession. We need to up our possession rate and we need to sort ourselves out and start to convert some of these chances. We've not had a lot of chances and we've not had a lot on target. So we just need to do a bit of work on that in the second half. First highlight of the second half, 57 minutes in. Manchester United have a throw in. Rashford coming down into Bernardo Fernandes. And didn't make any changes at half-time. But they are imminent if we don't get a foothold in here. Derlat is in and Derlat puts it away. Eriksson is injured. But Manchester United go 1 up after 58 minutes. And that's not good. Inside the near post, and Kanachesi should have had that. And with 59 minutes nearly on the clock, we've made 3 changes. Barbosa, who's not been playing well up front, he's come off, and we've brought Kai Havertz on to replace him. And then we've taken off our 2 central midfielders, Kante, who wouldn't have been able to play the whole match, but again isn't having a good game. He's come off, and we've brought Kovacic. No, we haven't. We brought Fernandes on to replace him, and Otavio, who's also on a yellow card. He's come off, and Kovacic has come on for him. That's our changes with around about 20 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go. Let's see if we can make inroads. And we have a highlight. Cucurella with a throw-in to Mason Mount. Rice. Kovacic, who's come on. Koeman gets to James. James looking for support from Timber, but it was a bit short. And Fernandes steps in at Timber trying to win it back. And it's in the area. It's gone in for a second and we're 2 behind. And Jadon Sancho, and it was a mix-up. It was Yaron Timbers. Didn't get to the ball. And it was a pass back. And failed. Yaron Timber trying to sort himself out there and didn't. And Fernandes got the better of him. Crossed it into the area and we're going 2 behind. And with 78 minutes on the clock, 2 behind, and we're going to lose this match unless we can turn it around very, very quickly. We don't look like we're going to do that right now. We've had to take 2 off because they're getting tired. Mason Mount is off. Havertz drops back into the attacking playmaker role with Matthias Tel coming in up front, and Reece James has come off. We've brought Fofana on for him, but swapped Timber and Fofana around to try and shore up that central defence because Yaron Timber is he's not playing very well today. And we have a free kick. Havertz with the free kick swings it in, and Declan Rice gets one back on 88 minutes. Is it too little, too late? Didn't look as everything was coming there. So Rice peeled off and managed to volley it straight in the back of the net. It was too little, too late. And we've gone down 2-1 to Manchester United, and our Old Trafford hoodoo continues. And, well, Yeah, nothing more than a consolation from Declan Rice. We did have 17 shots, 7 on target, so we had a far better second half. Didn't quite match them on the XG, but certainly shots-wise and on target, we did a lot better, but fell to those 2 goals. Dalot and Sancho wasn't to be our day, and they had 11 shots, 5 on target, 1.37. They stuck to their 55% possession. I think that's probably where we fell down a little bit today. Let's have a look and see how that's affected the Premier League table. Well, that was even more disappointing as it was our game in hand. And if we'd won that, we could have opened a 6-point gap down to Liverpool in second place. As it is, we are still 3 points clear of Liverpool and 5 points clear of Manchester City, who are in third place at the moment. Middlesbrough doing very well in fourth on 38 points. A little bit of a gap between them and Manchester City. Looks like a bit of a 3-horse race at the moment. Tottenham Wolves on 37. Everton taking up the last European place on 36. Manchester United moving up to 8th from 10th. And the teams in front of them, though, do have games in hand. So that's not all particularly good. Bournemouth, Blackburn and Burnley still in the relegation zone as it currently stands. Which brings us to our second game of the episode, 4 days away. It's against Molfever, a Hungarian team, as we've already looked. They are currently 36th in the Champions League phase, right near the bottom. And today we need to get a result against them. This is very important in our aspirations to get into the last 16 of the Champions League this season. Can we do it? Let's go and find out. This is the team that will face Molfever. And this is the side that will face Molfever in the Champions League phase, match day 7. And Mendy returns to goal. Chilwell, Koulibaly, Fofana and James, our backline. Kovacic and Kante in midfield with Sterling, Havertz and Otavio, are attacking midfield. Tell in front of them. Karnasechi, Garcia, Mount, Barbosa, Timber, Fernandes, Rodrigo, Xhaka, Rice, Koeman, Broja and Cucurella all on the bench. And we've changed to our version 1 of the 4-2-3-1. Let's see if we can get the result that we require against Molfever. And this is how we line up. Our 4-2-3-1. And they are playing a 4-1-2-3. Or 4-1-3-3. Or 4-3-3, should I say, is the other alternative, of course. They're playing in all white tonight. We're playing in our usual blue and white strip. And our first highlight, just 2 minutes in. James with a throw in, a long throw. Kante back to Fofana. Kovacic. Not yet to see a Chelsea goal in this episode. Koulibaly, Chilwell comes forward, crosses it into the area, and we have now Matthias Tel gets his 13th of the season, and we go 1 up inside 3 minutes. Lovely ball. Chilwell getting on this, goes out a bit wider, and it's a hard cross, and Matthias Tel getting his head to it. The defender really made a mistake. He had him covered. Chilwell with a corner, an in-swinger, and it's just gone over from Fofana. Kovacic, Chilwell, tried to be tackled, but got away with it. Kante looked like he was running into trouble there, but he's run into space. Kante still has the ball. Back to Chilwell, who's in support. Kovacic has a shot from distance, just wide. 34 minutes on. James with a free kick. It's headed back in. And Matthias Tel, I think, question whether he was offside. Will he be his 14th if it is a goal? And it is a goal. He's 14th of the season. A double for him. He was onside. Yeah, sure was. Lovely header again from Matthias Tel. 2 defenders. 40 minutes on the clock. It's a goal kick for Molfavor. James over the top. Matthias Tell on a hat-trick. He's got his hat-trick. His 15th goal of the season. And he's put 3 past Favor in this first half. And maybe we should have played him up front against Manchester United, to be fair. Question whether he was offside here, but he's not. It's been played on by this defender here, and we saw in the previous goal there was 2 defenders here marking the free kick coming in, and it was because of that kept Matthias Tell onside, and he's onside again. Into injury time. Chilwell swings it in. Kante gets his 5th of the season, and at half time we're at least 4-0 up, and 47 minutes on the clock. 45 plus 2. Oh, in off the post. That was a bit of luck as well. And at half time we are 4-0 up against Molfavor. We'll have a look and see how that affects the table in a minute. They haven't had any shots, nothing on target, 35% of the possession. We've had 16 shots, 7 on target, nearly 50%, 1.88 on the XG, 65% possession. Good first half, continue in the second half, blow it out of the water and get it out of our system. How do we finish? We're 6th at the minute on 15 points. Still not there. I was hoping that other stuff's going on against us. And there's not much we can do about that apart from scoring goals. But, yeah, it's the other teams as well. Barcelona, it's all going to come down to that final game. Dortmund 0-0 against Juventus. Oh, this isn't good, boys and girls. It may be playoff time for us. Still, we can only do what we can do. And as it stands at the minute, Arsenal are pretty much safe. Real Madrid, pretty much safe. Inter can still be caught. Manchester City tucked in behind us. Liverpool at the moment, they're in the playoffs, as are Tottenham. So it's all to play for, and we need to keep cracking the whip in the second half. Our first highlight of the second half, 51 minutes in, Chilwell free kick, and Tell trying to get another one, but straight at the goalkeeper. And Molfavor have actually had one on target now, which is good for them. Fofana, Kovacic, Havertz through, finds Matthias Tell, who's running right there, and Kai Havertz, playing in the attacking playmaker role, gets his 26th of the season and tucks that away very nicely indeed. Matthias Tell, supplier this time. Havertz, lovely, tucked it into the corner. Chilwell with a throw-in on this near side. Sterling. Kovacic comes forward. Kovacic into the area and straight at the goalkeeper. And you join us with nearly 65 minutes on the clock. Made 3 changes, all up front. Sterling has come off. He wasn't playing particularly well. He's come off. Rodrigo comes on for him. Matthias Tell has come off, having scored a hat-trick. He's on a 10 for the day. So we're happy with him and give him a bit of a rest now. We've brought Gabriel Barbosa on for him, and Kai Havertz comes off for Mason Mount. So changes in attack for the rest of this second half. Free kick, Chilwell with a free kick, swings it in for Fofana. Nice control, chips it in, but it's cleared, but only as far. Fofana wins it. Well, he didn't win it back, but Fofana's got the ball. Koulibaly, Kante sort of had a shot, and it's come deflected to the goalkeeper. And with 81 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 2 changes to finish off. Reece James, who's tired, has come off, and we've brought on Eric Garcia for him. I think what was swapped is Garcia. It's the better that way round, actually. Garcia then coming on for Reece James. And we've also taken off Kante in midfield and brought on Enzo Fernandez coming on for Kante. And we have a corner. Mason Mount with the corner. Swung in, and it's Rodrigo, I think, heading it over the top. Goal kick. Garcia under that one to Otavio. Otavio inside to Mount. Mount finds Barbosa. Question of whether he's offside or not. He wasn't. And we go 6-0 up. After 83 minutes inside Mount. Mount chips it for Barbosa. Barbosa picks the ball up in the back of the net. Fofana with a free kick. Deep in our own half. Finds Fernandez. Mount goes out wide to Otavio. Otavio cross it in. Oh, it's hit the woodwork. Bouncing around there. Corner. Chilwell with the corner. Swung in. And Wesley Fofana, his second goal of the season. And lovely met this one with his head. Tucked it in. 7-0. And it's all over here at Stamford Bridge. The fans have been given quite a treat in the end. And goals, a hat-trick from Matthias Tell in 41 minutes, giving us a good lead with Kante adding to that. Right, it's cleared the frog in the throat. Sorry about that. Matthias Tell and Kante giving us a 4-0 lead at half-time. And then Havertz, Barbosa and Fofana adding to it post half-time to make it a good 7-0 win against Molfavor. As I said, I don't think it's all done and dusted. We still need to get a result against Borussia Dortmund in order to qualify in the top 8. But that will come up in the next episode. Let's have a look then and see. 29 shots, 11 on target. Not quite 50%, 3.62, 62% possession. They had one shot, one on target, 0.08, 38% of the possession. Let's have a look at the table with one game to go in this Champions League phase. Well, that's how it's all ended up. We've ended up in 6th place on 15 points, 2 points clear of Liverpool, Barcelona, Leipzig and Lyon. So there are plenty of teams. If we lose and they all win, we could drop down into that bottom 16 there. And Dortmund will be fighting for their lives to try and do it because they're not clear cut at the moment. That is for sure. So we do need to make sure we pick up the points. As it stands, Liverpool must have had a good evening, I'm guessing. Liverpool beating Fenerbahce by 4-0. Ward-Prowse getting a hat-trick in that one. Who else? Manchester City. They've not done so well. They've drawn 1-1 with Fiorentina, and they are in trouble. 12 points. They need a win in the next round of games. That is for sure. Bayern Munich top on 19 points. Paris Saint-Germain second on 19. Then Arsenal, who had a good 2-0 win at Lyon. They're pretty much guaranteed, well, they are guaranteed to be in the top 8, as are Real Madrid and pretty much Inter, though they could still be caught because the goal difference isn't sufficient. So I would say 4 are pretty much guaranteed. Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal and Real Madrid guaranteed a last 16 place. But the rest of us at the moment need a little bit extra into Chelsea, Atletico Madrid and Liverpool, and then Barcelona, Leipzig, Lyon, Fiorentina, Manchester City and Sevilla all still in with a chance, as are, I guess, Tottenham, Juventus, Dortmund, Benfica and such like. But a little bit more of a fight if they are to qualify automatically. Right, that will take us to the next episode. Let's have a look and see what we've got coming up in the next episode then. Before we do go, we will have a quick look at the Premier League table because there are some other games that have been played. Coming back for Everton in the Premier League, Stamford Bridge. Last time we played them was 2-2 draw at their new stadium. Didn't play them that long ago. Where are we? Everton, there we go. At the Bramley Moor. I knew it was something to do with apples. Bramley Moor Stadium. And, yeah. And then, of course, Dortmund in that all-important Champions League phase match, which could decide whether we get into the last 16 automatically or we have to go via the playoffs. We'll have to see about that. Premier League, just to round up so that we know where we are. A lot of teams played 22 games. Some teams have played 22. We're top on 51 points on goal difference at the moment from Liverpool, who are also on 51 points. But just to note, they have played a game more than us. So again, it's back to that game in hand to stay those 3 points in front of them. Manchester City, having played 23 games, are 2 points behind us. So we don't want to lose that game in hand when it comes up. Wolves in third on 40 points, 9 points adrift of Manchester City. Then come Everton on 39, Middlesbrough 38, Tottenham on 37, and then just outside the European places, Arsenal on 36, Newcastle on 35, and Manchester United down in 10th place, also on 35. That loss against Manchester United was really grueling. Right, well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. And, of course, any new series release and our other series, To Be a Legend, which is on alternate days. If you've not seen that series, go and have a look for it in the playlist. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15pm. And if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. It's down there. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 60. It's out on Tuesday. Till then, I wish you a very good weekend. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.